an annual auto premium just to kind of do a little bit. And Erie is doing something similar as well. But then they went to all their agency force and said, hey, we're going to give out $1,000, and y'all come up with some kind of program or plan to make an impact on your community and figure out a way to distribute it and, do some marketing and promotion around it. But we want to, show the community that we're willing to give back, and even more than just the auto premium reduction. So I got with our three offices and, Katie's, Princeton, and Marion, and we talked a little bit about a plan to figure out a way to use that. So we added $500 more to it and decided we were going to go with 25 $20 gift cards in each of our locations. So 75 $25 gift cards, 75 $20 gift cards, and give out 25 in each city. And the way we were going to do that is ask folks in the community to nominate someone that's been still a frontline worker or a first responder type worker, somebody that's been working even though other things have stopped. So, folks working at your fast food stores, your retail Walmarts and things of that nature, or your bank employees that have kept it going, and just, your EMTs, anything that, really anybody in that category, but just somebody that you wanted to recognize that you were willing to make give us a comment about, to tell us, why they would deserve that and why you're nominating them. And then at the same time, on a secondary benefit, reaching out to, in our case in Princeton, we were doing 6 businesses, picking up gift cards from them, trying to just help just a little bit with them as well, and then give that gift card to the nominee, and then they can go back and spend that money in that store and just kind of be a win-win in multiple areas.
Well, yeah, that's a full circle, when you can do the gift certificate from the, and it's supporting local, it's just a full circle.
Yeah. And Erie is, we all the companies we represent, I consider to be quality, just A+ style companies. And Erie is just another one of those, and just something they wanted to do to be an impact on the community. And people have done multiple different things. Some people have spent all their money in one spot, which is still good, maybe a 501c3 or something of that nature. But I just thought, we, after talking about it with the other two guys, we could impact maybe, we wish we could do gift cards from everybody in town, but we didn't, we just didn't have that kind of fun. So we just, we picked some of the folks that are already lined up with Erie from an insurance perspective as well, and using their gift cards at this time. There'll be another time to use other different people at another time, but right now that's what we wanted to do. So far so good. We've got nominees coming in, and we're looking at making that drawing on this Friday to give those away. We'll give away 25 on Friday from our office, 25 in Katie's, and 25 in Marion.
Wow, though. I mean, I love to watch people nominate other people. I get the biggest kick out of that.
Yeah, we've gotten some cool things that people have said about their nominee. They might not have said it if nobody had asked them to. It's not that they wouldn't have let that person know they appreciated them, but you wouldn't have heard in the community, what somebody said about somebody else that meant something to them. So it's kind of cool reading the nominee as to why you nominated them. So that's been pretty cool. And
I saw a couple on there where they're like, you know what? I didn't know people thought that about me. And it was something that, the nurses and stuff, some of the different ones said, you know what? I didn't know people noticed what I did.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so cool that, they kind of come to the realization like, look, wow, I'm kind of a frontline worker. Looky there.
Yeah, no doubt. And listen, we're still taking nominees. So that's something we want to keep out there. The more, the better. And, it's, we're asking you to nominate on the Goodwin Insurance Agency Facebook page through the direct message. And then also you can nominate through my email address, which is Tory, Torey, at insurewithgoodwin.com. So that's Tory, Torey, at insurewithgoodwin.com.
Now, see, I like it that way, too, because then if I wanted to nominate somebody, well, if I've got 2 or 3 people that are first responders and then the other person says, well, why didn't you nominate me? I'm your friend, too. That way you can kind of do it under the table and you don't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, that's fine. And person can nominate more than one person if they want. For the most part, it's been nominating one person, and either way. But just giving Erie, insurance an opportunity to put their name out there in the community a little bit and provide some benefit and help and funding to some folks to tell them we appreciate them. And all insurance companies are in the business to make a profit, and they want to write all the insurance they can. But it is nice to look up and see every now and then they give a little bit back and try to benefit a community who's having some some trials right now with all this going on. So it's nice to be able to be a part of Goodwin Insurance and Erie Insurance coming together to do that. So we're thankful.
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm going to tattle on you a little bit. I know that you guys have done a lot more than just this in downtown and during this whole crisis and trying to support other businesses as well. I'll tattle on you a little bit, or a lot of bit, because I know that you've done stuff for other, businesses downtown and in Princeton to help support our local businesses and stay involved. And I don't want you to think that doesn't go unnoticed, because we do notice and appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I think if a person looks around, they'll see a whole lot of businesses that are doing a lot of things that are impacting the community in a positive way. And we're geared as businesses and marketing and promotion to try to promote that and, gain some marketing leverage with that. But that's not what happens every time. Sometimes folks just humbly do things that are impacting individuals, businesses, people, the community, fundraisers, civic organizations, ministries. And a lot of times it's just done for the benefit, and it doesn't go noticed. But man, there's just people everywhere helping in all kinds of things, and you can't name them all. There's too many to name, and it's just a good community. Princeton's a good community, and most of those places are doing things that are beneficial to others, and makes me think about the West Kentucky Hoops Classic that's coming up in December when the community gets back rolling. I mean, folks have always been a big positive promoter and supporter of that.
Oh, I'm so excited! That thing is like exploding.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. we just need the community and the school system and the state and the nation to get back churning, hopefully, and prayerfully that'll work out, and we'll have basketball this year. But yeah, it's set to look pretty good, and I know we've talked about that before and probably will again later. But the community's good. Princeton's a good community. Caldwell County, as well as Trigg County and Crittenden County. They're doing the same thing. So West Kentucky is a nice place to live and raise a family, and we're thankful to be a part.
Well, fittingly so. Today is Kentucky Gives Day, and that's a statewide holiday. So I think that's fitting to have you on today during Kentucky Gives Day. So thank you so much. Of course, Tory Hammett with Goodwin Insurance. And again, let them know how they can nominate someone.
Yeah, okay. So it's the Goodwin Insurance Agency and Erie Insurance gift card giveaway. You can nominate by going to just the Goodwin Insurance Agency Facebook page. You'll find Goodwin Insurance of Katie's with a Facebook page, and you'll find YTG Insurance or Yarborough-Tabor Goodwin Insurance as well on Facebook. And then so you can nominate on any of their Facebook pages through the instant message. And then you can also nominate here in the Princeton office by my email address, which is just my name, Tory, Torey, at insurewithgoodwin.com, spelled out INSUREWITHGOODWIN.com. We'll be looking to make those drawings on this Friday. I believe that's May the 15th. And we'll be giving away 25 gift cards here in Princeton, 25 in Katie's at Goodwin of Katie's, and 25 in Marion at Yarborough-Tabor Goodwin Insurance in Marion. So 75 gift cards going out to folks in the community that are first responders or first line workers that you folks have nominated. So we're thankful to be a part. Goodwin Insurance and Erie Insurance gift card giveaway.
Well, that again, thank you so much, Tory. We appreciate you,
man. Thank you, Tiff.
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate you having us on.
Oh, we love it. Of course, Mr. Tory Hammett is a good friend of the community as well, and we could nominate him if he would let us, but I guarantee you he's not going to let us, but he should be on that page there too. I'll tattle on him a little bit because he's very active with everybody. And, when you think about the front line and the first responders, what does that mean these days? When we talk about essential personnel and we talk about those folks that, our lives would be so different and are so different right now. But think about those folks if they decided just to stay home. I mean, those are the people that you really think about, your frontline workers that go to work every day. The people at the restaurant that at George Kuhn Library now with the drive-through window that's handing the books out to you and doing all of that work. You know what, Nichelle, she's a frontline worker. With a lot of these people that things we never really thought about. The gas station attendant, Dunk's mama over there. Every time I go in, she's there, and I'll tell you, they all are, Stacy, and they're the ones that are taking care of us. They don't have to have a big shiny badge on their chest to be really essential and really important and be a frontline worker. And we thank them for that because they do that each and every day for us. But then again, the ones that do have that big shiny badge on their chest, we sure do appreciate them as well. Stick around. We're going to speak to some other folks for Kentucky Gives Day. There's an organization around LBL called the Friends of LBL, and they are very active in conservation and trying to make sure that, LBL is there for generations to come and people's families to enjoy for generations to come. So hang out with us for just a second. We're going to be back here in just a few minutes, and we're going to talk to the Friends of LBL. That's coming up next on Coffee Talk on WPKY.
Riser Point Marina is looking for many team members dedicated to creating an environment that brings out the kid in us all. If you're a person that takes pride in creating great recreational and family fun experiences for others, then Riser Point needs you. They need you now. Lots of positions available. They offer great training in a fun atmosphere. To be part of the Riser Point team, go to priserpoint.com. Complete a resume online, and they'll call you for an interview. You can also find the link on the Find a Job page at WKDZradio.com.
During this trying time of the COVID-19 crisis, the Body Shop at Trice Hughes is open for business to help you with your repair needs. With the uncertainty that these times bring, Trice Hughes wants you to know they will help with your insurance deductible to get your vehicle repaired. Call for an appointment or free estimate at 270-365-5522. Working together with your home team at Trice Hughes, we'll make sure you receive the service you deserve.
We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and record your prayer. We'll do the rest. Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
Christian Care Center of Catawba announces Jita Shabda, their new medical director, and that they now have on-site physician services specializing in internal medicine and pulmonary, Monday through Friday during regular business hours. Christian Care Center of Catawba is Joint Commission certification with 57 private rooms, all covered by private pay, insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid. They also have a designated area for smokers. It's the next best thing to home. Call Christian Care Center of Catawba, nurturing body, mind, and spirit.
Willow Pond of Eddyville is open for curbside and deliveries 7 days a week. They feature a full menu including grilled items, burgers, and desserts. Open for lunch Friday and Sunday for lunch from 11 till 7. Open for dinner Monday through Thursday and Saturday from 4 to 7-ish. In other words, when customers stop coming in after 7, they'll close. It's time to eat. Call in your orders for curbside pickup today at 270-388-4354. Willow Pond of Eddyville, Highway 62 West. Follow them on Facebook.
We invite you to join us each Sunday morning beginning at 6 and lasting till 1 for uplifting messages from several of our area churches. We may not be able to gather together, but we can share positive and encouraging words during these challenging days. Make plans to come together with us by radio on 1580 103.3 WPKY. You can even listen from our free app or at WPKYonline.com.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. All right, don't be mad at the messenger. Got a 50-50 shot at showers on and off all day today. This morning, this afternoon, the whole time, lunchtime. 50-50 shot at it. You kind of rolling the dice. It looks like the sun is going to play peekaboo with us. High 59. Tonight, rain overnight, low 49. Tomorrow, showers are going to continue all day. High 66. And then on Thursday, partly sunny and warm. High 81. Of course, Friday, the showers return. Set in through the weekend with a chance every single day through Sunday. See, I told you, don't be mad at me. Highs near 80 all weekend long. Of course, it is 50 at 846, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Wallace Towing.
And of course, I've talked about this all week long, and I've been really excited about it. I've been talking about it for a while, especially if you know me outside of this. I get very excited when I get to talk about LBL. I'm like a little kid. But there is an organization, of course, we've been talking about all morning long about Kentucky Gives Day, and there's an organization called Friends of LBL that I absolutely have been following and loving for quite some time. And we have got, I love this. Miss Aviva, are you on the phone?
I'm here.
Oh, thank goodness. Of course, Miss Aviva Yasgur. Now, am I pronouncing that correctly?
You did a great job.
Hey, I've had my coffee this morning. Well, now explain to everybody what your title is.
I'm the executive director of the Friends of Land Between the Lakes.
And again, I kind of wanted just to kind of explain what the Friends of LBL, is to everyone.
Sure. Of course, our role is shifting a little bit during this unusual time that we're in now, but in normal circumstances, we're a nonprofit organization that supports a lot of the educational activities and the volunteer activities and visitor services at Land Between the Lakes. So in practical terms, what that means is if you go out to Land Between the Lakes and say you go visit the nature station or the home place or the visitor center or something like that, the people that you encounter that are staffing those places that are greeting visitors and giving them information, doing the educational programs, those are all employees of the Friends of Land Between the Lakes. If you go around and see volunteers doing litter cleanups and other projects, we manage all the volunteer activities at Land Between the Lakes. So we're basically an organization that exists to support Land Between the Lakes and try to provide, the best visitor experiences for people there that we can.
Well, and I think, again, this is just the coolest thing. Because I happen to follow you on social media, and you guys had the most beautiful pictures and stories. I think it was yesterday that it was posted about the blue herons and the babies, because it's blue heron baby time.
Yeah, well, we're very fortunate to have a lot of friends who like to share with us. So, there's a lot of people that enjoy going out to Land Between the Lakes and doing photography and kayaking and hiking and bird watching. And sometimes they take some neat pictures and they'd love to share them with others. And sometimes they send them to us, and then we have the privilege of sharing them with all of our followers. So, especially now when a lot of people aren't able to get out and do as much as they normally can, we're trying to bring some glimpses of Land Between the Lakes to people virtually if they're not able to go out and do some of the things themselves that they normally would.
Well, it can also really, give you updates. I think it's even got like our next eclipse from the 2024. It's got the date on there. You can keep up with all of the different areas though too. Especially like right now when some things are closed and we're starting to try to get a glimpse of what's going to happen reopening wise. This is a great way to really keep kind of up to date with what's going on. And to be honest, I one of my favorite things is when they do the updates from the Woodlands Nature Station. They did one the other day with Clover the groundhog. Adorable. I love and you know what though, they especially in the last month or so when you guys were doing contests to name some of the animals.
Yes.
Those were so much fun. My kids really enjoyed that.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. So, yeah, we employ the staff that work at the nature station and the home place and the planetarium. And of course, those places have been, temporarily shut down right now. And, of course, we know tons of people love coming to those places in the spring when the weather is nice. And I know, we know people are missing getting out there and seeing their favorite animals and shows and things. So we've really been trying to put some of those experiences out there online so people can still see the oxen and see the groundhog and see the owls and learn a little bit from home. And it's been fun, for us. The staff are enjoying doing it and learning some new tech skills. And, we hope it keeps people feeling connected, even if they can't come out in person.
Well, you did a whole thing on almost like a homeschooling kind of thing, like the virtual classrooms, especially for Earth Day.
Yes, yeah. So, we had several different events planned for this spring that weren't able to happen in person. And so what we decided to do with the homeschoolers day at the nature station and then there was a children's day at the home place was turn them into virtual days. And so, we posted a series of different videos throughout the day that had, educational content and then suggestions for activities that families could do at home. And then we had some different activity books that were posted on Google Drive that people could download. And, we're trying in an unusual circumstance to still provide educational services to the public, even though they can't come visit in person. And it's been nice to see that people are receiving them well. We've gotten some nice comments about people enjoying them and using some of those resources with their kids, and that's been really nice feedback to hear.
Well, and especially I think right now with all of the NTI work, because even if you weren't homeschooled before, you basically have been now. When mom's the substitute teacher and dad's the substitute teacher, so I think it really kind of helped to give people additional learning opportunities and to be creative, with some of it and use it almost as a virtual school, kind of a trip from the school, field trip.
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, I'm sure, I'm sure there's a balance we're trying to strike. I'm sure a lot of parents and kids are getting a little sick of too much screen time. So we're trying to balance, having videos to watch with suggestions for actual activities that families can go out and do in their yard or if there's a park near them that's open. Trying to put out fun things to watch, but also still encourage the actual outdoor exploration and experiences too.
And of course, the planetarium, sometimes I think we think about that. Oh, the planetarium's been there forever. That's nothing new. But you've got some new and exciting things happening at the planetarium. And again, you're kind of bringing the planetarium online. You're kind of bringing it to us since we can't go to it.
Yeah, we were extremely grateful. One of the companies that we work with that we've purchased shows for in the past has made some shows available to watch for free online for people as kind of a public service at this time. So we were very happy to on our Friends of LBL website, we've got 3 full-length shows and then a series of short animated shorts, professional shows that people can basically just click on the link and watch them at home, on their computer or however they want to watch them, and it's a really nice service that one of these companies has offered and made available to us, so that we can offer a sort of a watch at home version of planetarium shows right now.
Well, I think that's really neat, especially like when we've got the things coming up that would normally be such a planetarium kind of thing, which is like Atlas. When we've got these kind of the comets and things like that, and that normally we would love to go to the planetarium and be a part of. Maybe we can't do a lot of those things right now, but you can still do it together. Just in kind of a different way. And I love that because right now on the planetarium's social media, and that's one of the things that they're kind of focused on is the second half of May. Of course, we've got the big swan coming up. So it's pretty cool that they're trying to kind of get us all together in a way.
Yeah, well, thanks. And, one of the projects, and we're looking forward to moving forward with this at some point when we kind of get back to whatever a new normal will be. But over the past couple of years, we had done a really big fundraiser, the biggest fundraiser that the Friends of LBL has ever done, to raise a lot of money to completely renovate the planetarium, to put in a whole new projection system. The one that we have now is it's kind of old. If you came into the planetarium and had been to maybe more of a modern one in some of the bigger cities, you would probably notice that ours is decent, but maybe a little behind the times. But we undertook a pretty major fundraiser over the past 3 years, and honestly, just right before all this COVID stuff happened, we hit our goal for how much we needed to raise to purchase this new system. So,
wonderful.
Originally, we were planning on having the whole renovation done this fall. Not quite sure how all this is going to affect that timeline, but we're still really excited to get going with that as quickly as we can and make the planetarium even better than it's been in years.
Right. I think that's amazing. And one of the biggest things that I really kind of wanted to hit home with everybody is that, number one, you all are still growing and still, moving with the times and technology and that sort of thing when it becomes available and making sure that you're trying to stay on top of it. I know that, it may be in a while. If you're from here, if you're raised here, it may have been a while since you've been down to maybe Golden Pond or the observatory, the home place, the nature station. Maybe it's been a while since you've been there, and you need to do it again once this whole, the restrictions are lifted. But this is a great way to kind of plan your day trip. And of course, Kentucky Gives Day. I mean, this is just a way for us to support you guys and to make sure that, you do have the funds to keep going with it.
Yeah, thank you. We really would appreciate it. Typically our main source of funds is the 5 gift shops that we operate in Land Between the Lakes at the different facilities. And of course, they've all been closed for 2 months, and we're still continuing to take care of the nature station, the home place, feed the animals, and do all these things with basically zero funds coming in right now. So
well, and I started to say, gift shop money, that doesn't really, even gift shop, you say gift shop money, but at the same time, even on a regular basis, on a good day or a good weekend, you're still, it's not cheap to feed buffalo and, oxen and groundhogs and all of these things at the nature station, all this technology that everybody wants to see, that doesn't come cheap.
Yeah, and that's right, and we are fortunate that we do have a partnership with the U.S. Forest Service, who manages Land Between the Lakes, and they help with a lot of that stuff, but we provide a chunk of it as well, we're very thankful for all the supporters who enjoy coming out to visit LBL and decide to be a member of the Friends of Land Between the Lakes, or make a donation, or give back a little bit to help support keeping these places going.
Of course, we're talking to Aviva Yasgur from Friends of LBL this morning for Kentucky Gives Day, in case you're just tuning in to Coffee Talk on WPKY Princeton. And, of course, we sure do appreciate it. Let them know again. Remind us, how do we donate?
Well, to donate to our Kentucky Gives Day campaign, which is today, you can go to kygives.org and just look up Friends of Land Between the Lakes, and you'll see our page there. Or anytime, anybody can go to just our direct website, which is friendsoflbl.org, and either become a member or make a donation just directly through our website. And either way is extremely appreciated.
Oh, we sure do appreciate you being with us this morning, and kind of letting us brag on LBL a little bit and talk about Kentucky Gives Day in a big way, and kind of giving us an update too, because I was pretty excited about the planetarium. If you couldn't tell, I really was. I mean, because that whole thing is really neat, and I wasn't sure about what everybody was going to do, or if we were just going to quietly ignore, the big comet that's coming. And we were just going to slide it under and hope nobody noticed. But I think that you guys are really going out of your way, and we really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate you having me on and letting me talk a little bit about the Friends of LBL on your show, and thank everybody that enjoys coming out and supporting Land Between the Lakes and the Friends of LBL.
Well, this quarantine is not going to last forever. I said, this is the one thing that I keep trying to remind everybody. Today is one day closer to going to LBL and walking into the nature station. We are one day closer as of today. Right. So, and tomorrow we're going to be another day closer. So we sure do appreciate all you do for Kentucky Gives Day. Of course, Miss Aviva with the Friends of LBL, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bless her heart. I'll tell you, when I call people, sometimes it's out of the blue, and it's one of those things with her that she's been so sweet in working with us. And again, if you need to kind of look up Friends of LBL on social media, you're not going to be disappointed. Between the pictures and the animals and the videos and anything from educational to just downright cute and fun and funny, educational, you name it, it's on there. And of course, the opportunity to give to Kentucky Gives Day with the Friends of LBL, that's right there as well. So anyway, stick around. We are going to, have you ever heard of a guy named Mark Vaughn? Surely to goodness, I don't know. Brother Mark Vaughn is going to be up next on Coffee Talk. Stick around.
At ABC Finance, we have always been committed to keeping our customers and our staff safe and healthy.
In response to the recent COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, we have implemented several new policies company-wide to ensure the safety and well-being of all.
This includes limiting access to parts of our office to the public, isolating loan closings to one area, and frequently sanitizing all hard, frequently touched surfaces.
We've also asked our staff to please stay home in the event they are feeling unwell.
If you, as a customer, are unwell or are uncomfortable with getting out of the house, stay home. And please remember, payments can be made by phone or online at abcfinanceonline.com.
You can also apply for a loan on our website with fast decisions and quick turnaround time.
If you have any additional questions, please contact the office nearest you. Locations are listed on our website, abcfinanceonline.com.
Also, follow us on Facebook for the latest information. And stay safe from all of us at ABC Finance.
1580 103.3 WPKY coffee. Got me drinking coffee. I was trying to swallow a cup of coffee in like a really big gulp, and that didn't work out too well for me. 1580 103.3 WPKY. And on the phone with us, wrapping it up for us today, is Brother Mark Vaughn. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning, Tess. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. If I could drink coffee without choking myself, I'd be fine.
Well, I wish I was there to see it. I could get a laugh out of it.
Well, thanks there, Brother Mark. I appreciate that. You know, that's a lot of love right there from your preacher when he. Hey, you know, it's been nice to talk to you. We'll see you later. God bless him. I love him because, you know, even though he's a Raiders fan, we still love him. And I wish to goodness one of these days when everything's back to normal, we can see him in his jerseys and we can go back and forth a little bit about that. We always have a good time when you're around, and of course you were involved with the National Day of Prayer the other day, huh?
That's correct. That was a blessing to get to pray for our school system, and it's always a good thing when you get to pray. And we get to play anytime we choose to.
And you're praying on a bus. You know, there were times in our history that just wasn't possible.
Yeah. Well, it was mighty good. I love driving the school bus, and it was just a great privilege to get to pray and then get to do it on the school bus.
Well, my bus driver would tell you he prays on his bus every day. He takes my kids around. He's going to need it. No, but I thought
you were talking about. I thought you were talking about when you rode a bus. He was praying.
Oh, that was Mr. Baker. God bless him. He made it through me, and he retired. Are you kidding me? Mr. Baker, good morning, sweetheart. Because I tell you, he made it through that, and he was done. He said, but, you know, I will say that I thought it was really neat the way that everybody, you know, bounced around that day. Of course, Brother Harold Riley really put a lot of effort into that, as a lot of other people did too. And I'll tell you, I just thought that was wonderful, and I wanted to make sure I made mention of that. And, of course, all the different times now where churches are starting to meet again and in parking lots and different things. What is Cedar Bluff doing?
Well, we have the last 2 weeks we've been meeting on our parking lot for a Sunday morning service. So we're going to try something a little different this coming Sunday, do a little experimenting. There are folks that are still not comfortable about going inside. So at 9 a.m., we're going to have a parking lot service. There are folks who are wanting to go in. And so at 10:30, we're going to have our worship service in the sanctuary. So we'll have 2 worship services, and then also going to be live streaming it. There's some folks that still don't want to get out of the house, and, you know, that's okay too. And so we're going to have 3 options. And so we're just going to try that and see how it works out this Sunday. And hopefully it'll work out real good. And we're just, you know, kind of taking it 1 week at a time as things go along, and just seeking God's guidance on this. But I know there's a lot of folks that are very excited about getting back into our building. I tell you, Tess, it's a lot different. I've always, you know, preached in front of people, and then you start preaching in front of a phone, and there's nobody to look at but yourself. That gets kind of scary a little bit. And
I think you've done a really, really nice job of that, though. I mean, you've really here lately. You've got. I saw you in with a pen of sheep the other day. I saw you in front of a gorgeous old well with the church behind you on the hill. That was so pretty. I mean, you've really kind of put some creativity into where you went, though.
Well, thank you very much. And, I thought it was a great opportunity. Easter Sunday morning, sunrise service, I wanted to, had it planned to go to the cemetery and have Jesus, you know, rising from the grave, and Mary Magdalene and some other ladies coming. But we got a little rain that morning, so we did the best we could. We went to the sanctuary of the church with a couple of others and helped out and did that. But I just thought, well, this is a great opportunity since we can't, meet together. And I've always done it in the sanctuary, you know, preach in the sanctuary or in the church somewhere pretty much. I thought, well, I'm going to get out and about and just kind of tie things in, scenery to my messages and devotions. And I think it's worked real well. In fact, tomorrow's Wednesday. I plan on being outside at 6:30 for our Wednesday evening service. I won't tell you where I'll be or what I'll be doing, but I'll have something going on if the weather cooperates tomorrow evening.
Well, I think, I want to congratulate you for at least, for one, not being a Raiders fan, that's not it. But your creativity though, when I talk about giving people options, and here's what I appreciate about what you're doing. When you give somebody the option of going to being in the parking lot, or to being in person inside, or to not really being comfortable with either of those. So, you've also got the at-home on your phone option too. And I think that is a willingness to understand that different people feel differently and have different levels of comfort for different reasons. And instead of, forcing them or making them feel bad if they do one or the other or not any of them, you give them the option to do whichever, works for them and their family. And I want to applaud you for that.
Well, thank you very much. I've heard and seen lots of comments on what we're to do. Everybody has an opinion, but from my viewpoint, nobody knows, and only God knows what we should be doing. And so we just have to pray and do what we think is best. And if we have that option, then I think it's good. We can make the decision for ourselves instead of somebody making it for me. And,
right. Well, I think everybody's got a different opinion because everybody, has a different situation. And I think that's okay. And I think, once we understand that and we just say, it's not right for me, but it's right for somebody else, and that's okay.
Yes.
I think that's a good, I just wanted to, make sure that you knew I appreciate the fact that you're giving all the options, not just one or two. And I think that's wonderful. Good for you. Well, and I'll tell you, part of that, I believe, is probably a really gorgeous lady that you better have been good to over Mother's Day weekend.
Hey, I'm good to her every day.
Of course, I'm talking about Miss Kay.
Yeah, she's blessed, and she knows it because I tell her all the time.
I don't know. I think I talk about her publicly more than you do.
I think you may do that.
I talk sweet about her every day. Thank you very much. Of course, we're talking about his wife, Miss Kay. And of course, Kay's Kitchen as well is where I'm leading that little segue into. But, you guys did some construction over there at Kay's Kitchen, right?
Yes, put in a drive-in window. She's been talking about that for a pretty good while. And then when all this took place, wasn't much business, and it was an opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity, and it's been a blessing to her. So she has that drive-in window, and just makes it a lot handier for folks.
Well, that's what I keep telling everybody is, this isn't the call-in, the thought of the call-in order is not new to Miss Kay. She's been doing that for years. That's not new.
Right. Yeah, she's done that ever since she's been open, and but this drive-in window, a lot of folks with the situation the way it is don't want to get out of their vehicles, and that's very understandable. And if it's raining, that makes it more convenient. Just there's a lot of positives to it.
Well, I'll tell you, she had a strawberry pie the other day that I mean that would have made you drool if you'd have been anywhere around that. And of course, tomorrow now is going to be Meatloaf Day because it's Wednesday, and everybody around here knows that's Kay's Meatloaf Day.
Yes, she knows how to make that meatloaf. That's for sure.
Well, and I'll tell you, she pretty well knows how to do any of it.
Yes, she does. She's a great cook. That is for sure.
Well, and then, of course, she does a whole lot of the sides, too. I don't want anybody to think that she just does the meat or the sandwiches. She does any of it. She'll cook you an omelet at 1 o'clock in the afternoon if that's what you want.
She sure will. And if anybody has something that she doesn't fix that you think you might like for her to fix, you just let her know, and she'll probably give that a try, too.
Oh, I'm just thinking the strawberry pie. They're just more of those.
Hey, I like those strawberry pies also, but she don't bring those home very often.
I bet she doesn't. She probably knows better than that.
Of course, she does know better than that.
All right, well, let's give her name or her number again, 365-2709. And, of course, she's just a couple of blocks from the courthouse downtown, 501 North Jefferson Street, and you said she's got the drive-through window, and all you got to do is call ahead, right? And then you just go right through there. The drive-through window is right there and right there on the side. You can just drive right through, right?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you. Again, tell us what your times are this weekend for Cedar Bluff.
All right. At 9 a.m., we'll have a drive-in parking lot worship service. And then at 10:30, we'll have a worship service in the sanctuary. And we'll also be Facebook Live on my page. And so I will share that. And so whichever way you choose to worship with us, and we hope and invite everybody to worship with us. And we do that. Let me also say this, Tess, if you don't mind. We are still doing our Bible drive at Cedar Bluff Baptist Church, and we can buy a case of Bibles. There's 40 to a case for $38, and so for 95 cents you can buy a Bible. And if you wanna mail a check, that'd be fantastic. You just make it out to Cedar Bluff Baptist Church, and in the memo put Bible drive, and any amount that you would want to give would be fantastic. If you have any used Bibles that you're not using, we'd love to have them. You just get a hold of me, and we'll get them picked up somehow, some way. And there's a lot of people. It's estimated that there's 1 billion people around the world that wants a Bible that doesn't have one. That's just, that just blows my mind. And so we want to help out with that all we can, and we need your help and doing that. So thank you for anybody and everybody that has given or will give.
Well, I think that's fantastic. Thank you, Brother Mark.
I thank you, and Tess, one of these days, you're going to leave those Cowboys behind, and you're going to see who the great team is, the great Raiders, and you're going to come over to them, aren't you?
Brother Mark, I want to make a confession. I know we're not Catholic, we're Baptist, but I'm going to make a confession anyway. I've been chasing Cowboys since I was 13. Now, you take that however you want to take it. I love being a Cowboy. Are you kidding me? Stinking Raiders anyway. Oh, my goodness. Hey, hey, we love you so much, and Miss Kay, you give her a hug, tell her Happy Mother's Day, a little belated, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
I would do that, and we love y'all very much, and thank you for having us on.
Brother Mark Fawn, of course, and husband to Miss Kay, Miss Famous Kay's Kitchen right here on North Jefferson Street in Princeton. And we thank them very much. Of course, he's pastor at Cedar Bluff. And if you're, I know there are a lot of church cancellations, but changes in times and services and how they are doing it. We do have a link right there on our website at WPKYonline.com for you to figure out if your church or what churches are doing what. All you have to do is log on WPKYonline.com. One more time. Let's check on our weather one last time so that you can yell at me one more time before I leave. 50-50 shot at showers and a high of 59 today. Tonight, rain, low 49. Tomorrow, showers, high 66. And on Thursday, sunshine and warm. Whoa, let's go over that one again since it's the one day all week, huh? Thursday, sunshine and warm. How about that? High 81. And then on Friday, showers are going to return, I know, and set in through the weekend all the way through Sunday with highs near 80 all weekend long. It is 51 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Herb Hayes Furniture. Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.